Lance, thank you for coming to us. The Netherlands, Holland. Did you like Zandvoort when you were there?
Oh, I love it.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks.
It is?
Yeah, it's always been since my F3 days. It's been a place I always enjoy driving, and yeah, it was great. And then the weekend was great. I mean, you know, all the fans. I mean, there was just great energy the whole weekend.
Yeah, a little green in the grandstand, a lot of orange, which is logical.
A lot more orange and green.
Does it hurt you personally, me, because I loved going to the Canadian Grand Prix. Does it hurt you personally? We haven't been there now for 2 years.
Yeah, it's sad for sure. I mean, I think it is a great Grand Prix. I think everyone enjoys going, and
yeah,
you know, it's a great Grand Prix. It's a great track. You know, it's a
good races.
It's always exciting races. So yeah, it is. You know, sad that we haven't gone the last couple of years, but I think next year we'll be back.
We'll get back to you. We'll be back.
Yes.
Here we are, 97 races on the dot, a pole position, 2 podiums. Are you happy where you are in your career?
Yeah, well, I haven't really reflected yet today, so.
All right, let's
try.
try.
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure, it's been a hell of a journey. It's crazy how quick time flies. Feels like, in a way, it feels like a long time ago, but it also feels like yesterday. You know, I was at my first race in Australia, so hard to believe that 5 seasons into it, almost 100 races into it, I'm, you know, sitting here with, you know, gone through, you know, 5 seasons like that, and yeah, it's been a great journey. I think you know, there's been some hard times for sure, and some difficult cars to drive. But I think I've learned a lot, and I think I've, you know, definitely experienced a lot. You know, I've experienced what it's like to be in difficult cars. I've experienced what it's like to be in competitive cars. You know, qualifying up at the front and racing up at the front, and I still feel like yeah, it's just the beginning. You know, I'm just turned 23, so I'm still really looking forward to the next chapter now.
Yeah. The downside is pointless in the last 3 races. Ouch. How do you cope with? How does your sporting heart cope with that? Come on.
Yeah.
Are you a guy who now hits the table and say, "Come on, boys, we have to do"?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, it's frustrating, but the Formula One's, you know, is all about highs and lows, and you know, there's some races that don't go well, and some do go well, and I think. You know, it's important to always just regroup after, you know, after tough times and focus on the next race. There's no point in dwelling about the past. You know, it's better to put it aside and focus on the next one. So, you know, I've definitely had some rough patches the last few races, but then I think to myself of times this year where I've had 3, 4, 5 consecutive good races. So, you know, that's how it is. You know, it's full of ups and downs. You can never predict. You know how a weekend will be, so I'm really looking forward to the last 3 now, and I'm going to try and bounce back and score some good points.
8 out of 10 times your opening lap, if you don't get into contact, but 8 out of 10 times your opening lap is there. Are you a risk taker? Is that of taking risk, or is that being clever, or your senses, or your, what is it?
Well, I don't. You know, you can never predict the start, so you always have to be. It's instinctual. I think I definitely go for it. You know, you take risks, especially depending on where you are. You know, if you have a bad qualifying, maybe you have to take more risks in the first lap versus when you have a good qualifying. And I think that's just how it is. But it's definitely, I think, a part of the race I really enjoy. You know, the start, it's always very exciting. And, you know, and at the same time, I take calculated risks, though. You know, I think it's important to go for the gaps that you know are there, and not, you know, finish the race in the first corner, because it's always a long race. So.
I want to ask you something about your dad. Does he get enough credit for what he's doing and has done? Do you feel he gets enough credit for that? I'd love to talk to him a day.
Sure.
I'll have to ask him, but so far he doesn't want to, so that's fine.
Well, I think it's a really exciting journey we're on, you know.
I know.
Last year we made great steps from when we started with Racing Point. we went from finishing 7th to almost finishing 3rd in the championship last year, which was an amazing leap forward. And I think now with the name Aston Martin and the new factory going up, there's really exciting times ahead, and some very talented people are coming on board and joining this team, and I think that's
are
really
you proud
exciting.
of your dad? That's what I want to know. Are you proud of him?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very proud and very happy to be on this journey with him. It's great to see his vision and what he is looking forward to, and what he's striving towards, I should say, in the coming years, and it's great to be a part of that.
Yeah. Are you in the father-son relation, or is it 8 out of 10 times business? Because I can imagine this is a guy who's always business, but is there enough room to have a good father-son relation?
Yeah, no, I think when we're at the track, it's business, and then when we're not at the track, he's my dad, and he's been with me on this journey since day one, and it's very special.
Good. Once we get to Abu Dhabi, you'll be doing 100 Grand Prix, which makes you the 2nd Canadian after Jacques.
Really?
It does.
Oh man.
He's got 168, so you have a little bit to go.
I'm turning into a veteran. Growing gray hairs now.
Yeah.
It's going by too fast.
Like me.
Yeah, 100 races, man. But now the years, it's almost 100 races every year now. It's so freaking long, the season. This year it's got like 23. So next year I'll have 200 races.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like I said, it goes by so quick, and that's why it's also important to, it's serious stuff, and it's very competitive, and there's definitely a lot of intensity, every weekend and every season, but it's also important to, I guess, stop and enjoy it as well. Smell the roses, because it's an amazing journey. It goes by quickly, and crazy to think 100 races, man.
Yeah, it's called life.
Yeah, life. There you go.
We're nearly there. What would you have done if you weren't a Formula 1 driver? Have you ever thought about, ever since you were like that, you're in cars and Formula 3 and whatever, ever thought about it?
No. I mean, yes and no. Listen, I'd be graduating university, figuring out my life like most, I guess, 22, 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, something like that. But I love sports. Maybe it would have been another sport, I play a lot of golf, and I don't know, but racing's been such a commitment since I'm 8 years old, so it's hard to say that it's hard to say what I would have done if it wasn't Formula 1.
Finally, 2 new tracks coming up. This one we've never raced. Next race we've never raced. Are those the things where you say, there might be, that could be my little thing? Because
yeah, I mean, for sure, it's exciting to come somewhere new. But at the end of the day, the fast guys, the fast cars will be fast here in a new track the same way that they are at the other tracks. But I think it's definitely an opportunity. I'm just more looking forward to it from just like a driving side of things. Just go somewhere new and see something different. It's always fun going to new tracks.
Merci bien. Let's go back to Montreal. Is it Montreal or Montreal? I always go Montreal, but
well, Montreal. If you're French Canadian, you say Montreal, but
Montreal.
I grew up in the English side, so I say Montreal.
Because it's Mount Royal.
Yes.
That's what it is from.
Exactly.
So it should be Montreal.
Montreal's. You're saying it right.
I keep that one in.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Volop live topsport? Ga naar Ziggo Sport op kanaal 14. Gratis voor Ziggo klanten.